Hello, campers, and welcome to Why I Want You to Join Progeny. If I'm sending you this video, it probably means that I'm trying to fucking convince you to join. Good luck, man. Well, really big hyperfixation incoming. So I'm gonna share a clip of a roleplay scene I did before I really get into, like, anything else, I guess.
Nix. The shop keys will be in your hands. Alright?
Oh, wait.
Right.
Make sure
Is this it?
don't let anyone
Idel?
stealing my stuff.
Idel,
Yeah.
is this you?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
come with me. Come with me. Okay,
Bye.
come with me.
I need to get ready.
Yeah.
Wait, where is...
Can you make sure my books are not fully? You can if I do die, you, Rye, and
Don't talk
Aspen.
like that. Don't talk like that. Don't talk like that.
You guys can keep the house.
Oh, where'd they
Don't
go?
talk like that. Just
Where'd
go.
the
Just
heck
leave
did they
me.
go? I want a
Just
funny
leave. If you're gonna.
You,
drink.
Nix,
Uh,
a hug. Would you rather leave without a hug?
Fine.
A butler? Oh, we should find our butler. Hey, where's our
Don't
butler?
worry. Also,
Hold on, let me
I
take
will.
off my
I'll bring
mask.
any food I got after the war. All right.
I knew a guy that put the
I
extra
promise
force
you,
in a drink.
I
don't know
will
where he is.
ensure that I'll make it home.
Does that mean that
Because I need to make sure your little knife.
No, they put like
Oh,
hay and apples in it,
no.
I think.
Where is our butler?
Oh, give me a second. Let me remove this mask for you. Here, have this for now. Keep it. It's my father's, and I want you to hold on for it because I think I have the fight in my suit. So, give me a smile, all right? See me off.
I'm sorry.
See me off like a friend, all right?
All right. I'll try.
Well then,
And that is the end. There were a lot better roleplay scenes I did, in my opinion, but they were either retconned because stuff happened, or they involve very common triggers. I'm so sorry. The last few days of my event, do not watch them if you have specific triggers, which you probably have seen. So basically, Progeny is a modded Minecraft event that is low fantasy and medieval, and your character joins, and then they can, like, change over multiple generations. You can, like, your character have, like, get relationships, have kids. It's like LARP live action roleplay, but it's in Minecraft. You don't have to leave your house. It's great. But what are generations? Every 6 to 8 months, a generation occurs. It's what we call each event, basically. Your character can play across generations as the world and character persists between the generations. Between every generation, there's a 20-year time skip in the world. It means if your character is in generation 6 is 18, in generation 7 they'll be 38, and generation 7 they'll be 38, generation 8 they'll be 58. There you go. And if your character dies, or like you don't want to play your character anymore, you could just make, like, if you only played this character for one, and then you could just have a different character for these two, basically. So when is Progeny? Applications open every 6 to 8 months. A week before applications, there is a pre-plan ban that lists. So basically, in order to make it so that people don't plan out, like, generations in advance with how long the wait is between them, you make it so that the staff made it so that you can't really plan stuff, and because of how high quality the user base is in this event, applications are very difficult to do, then, like, you know, people usually keep that rule, like, between each other. Like, for example, like, I want my character to get together romantically with a different character, but since it's going to be happening in the generation, or like during the time skip or into the Generation 6, which is one after this one, then we can't really talk about the details other than like, this might be something that we are both interested in talking about further when the pre-plan ban lifts. Yeah, it's probably. That does not mean that, like, you cannot plan what your character's family will be or anything. You just can't plan what will happen in the generation, basically. Okay, anyway. Then, applications are opened for a week, and then after a month, the applications close after a week. After about a month after applications open, Progeny proper starts. For 3 weeks, on Saturdays, Sundays, and Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. For 3 hours, there's the days. There is a day 0 on the Thursday, the day before, but something like an hour and a half. And basically just, like, get in there, choose your character's class, and, like, what items they're gonna be spawning in with, and then they get put in the world. And usually the nations, like, have a tour, or, like, wherever you spawn, you're gonna have a tour, so that you don't get lost completely. But yeah, it's very cool, very fun. Here's why I love Progeny. I love Progeny with all my goddamn heart. It's like D&D, but on a huge scale. There's 600 people in the event, by the way. I probably should have said that. There's 600 people in this event. Each one has their own... Oh, hold on. Each one has their own amazing character and story. You ask a single person in there, like, oh, what's your deal with your character? And they can go for hours. They can go for hours. Me included. Probably like 10 plus hours. I swear to God. I will be telling you more about my character Nyx in a little bit, and it's very cool. I'm a fan. Anyway, so basically, like, community is incredibly welcoming and loves answering questions. There's a whole channel that's just called Questions. You can ask anything in there, and like, you'll get like 3 people that are like, if it's a tough question, 3 people will come and be like, oh, here's like what I think and stuff. And if staff's needed, then they'll ping staff and be like, hey staff, what's the answer to this question? And then they can answer it. Staff is great, in my opinion. Like, they specifically because they acknowledge when they could have been doing things better, and like specifically ask people, hey, what can we be doing better? What was your experience in this? I have a feedback form halfway into the event, and like after the first week of the event, I'm pretty sure, and after the event. Like, they have 2 feedback forms, so, you know, pretty nice. And, like, yeah, the community is just great. There's voice calls all the time. It's so good. It's so fun. And let me tell you about the world of Progeny. This is, like, learning about this is what made me be like, maybe I should give this a bit more of a look. So basically, in Generation 1, the first generation, everyone came from a ship that passed through a thick wall of fog, and then wrecked on this vale, I think, like, around here about. And every character since then is a descendant of those people. Half of them are NPCs, most of them are NPCs. There's only like 100 people in the first event. There's so many NPCs that are apparently on the ship. It's crazy. Anyway, you do not have to figure out your character's entire family tree. It's good. You can just say like, my character had parents, they're probably somewhere, I don't fucking know, and then just not talk about it. Anyway. There are 2 parts, actually, there's 3, I guess. There's 3 parts of Progeny's world. There's Mist Vale, there's Calderon, and there's the North. In Generation 3, I believe, people sailed into the fog and found, oh fuck, there's an island over here. What the hell? Was not there beforehand. There was a big layer of fog there. Anyway. And they found some dragon stuff. That's fine. We're gonna talk about that later. And then in Generation 4, just one generation after, a dragon came through, don't worry about it, we'll talk about it later, and scratched the obelisk here, and the fog just lifted over here, and revealed a whole new place. That's so crazy. Generation 5 is when all the nations that were established in Generation 4 properly come into their own. I am a big fan of Axon. I quite like Axon. They're very cool. But here are the world plots that are going on. There's a fog. People are researching it constantly because what if we could just, like, lift it? Or, like, what happens when people go into it is they die. However, you can go in the fog a little bit and then come out of it. And then you lose your memories. You can decide how much of the memories you'll lose, but if you want to have an amnesia character, this is a pretty good way to do it. Like, could, like, a week before the event, your character just, like, washed up on shore, doesn't remember a fucking thing, and is, like, being rehabilitated by someone. something like that. It's fantasy amnesia. Oh, actually, no, it's not fantasy amnesia because fantasy amnesia implies that you can regain your memories. You cannot. There are in-character consequences for going to the fog, but if you stay in the fog for too long, like, your hearts just will go to 0. You will die. There's also Ember's Hollow. In Generation 2? What's it 2? Hold on! Everyone hold the phone! I might be forgetting something! But basically, in some time, people started doing experiments on the volcano. The volcano that is actually just pictured here, but like it's right here on the map, in the middle of Erin. So, when did it get erupted? Okay, so Generation 2, the leader of Erin was like, guys, can you please stop going into the fucking volcano? Do not go into the volcano. Probably after, pretty sure, if I remember correctly from just being told stuff, pretty sure people started doing blood sacrifices on an altar in the middle of the volcano. And the lava lowered when you did that. That's so cool. What if we did it with a whole guy? Generation 3, people, but mainly, what is most prominent here is a guy named Aramis Planchette. After they sacrificed him to the volcano, no, they didn't sacrifice Aramis. They sacrificed a guy called Brutus Cheese, which is a great name. They sacrificed Brutus Cheese to the volcano, and then it erupted. Who could have seen this coming? Was the biggest event in Progeny so far, other than the war that happened in Generation 1. But, like, there used to be a nation called Wave, and then in Generation 1, they kind of got slimed by Erin. Anyway. So, and then, after Aramis died eventually, his soul is bound to the volcano, and he's just there now. People have been guarding the volcano to make sure no one went in there for years, decades, ever since. Because they don't want it to happen again, obviously. And also because, Aaron, don't fucking bother Aramis, man. Only his family's allowed to see him. He does have kids. He has a lot of kids. He had 3 kids. They each have kids. So, it's a lot. Anyway. And then there's ghosts, which is kind of related. I will tell you more about ghosts later. Actually, when do I tell you about ghosts? I'll tell you about ghosts later. But just know that's what my character will be doing. In Generation 5, they tried to summon a ghost. Did not work, because they did fucking no research. They just went into it, guns a-blazing. And then got brought into a team to research ghosts. Cool. There's also a bunch of religions. It's the Hands of Nansantas. I think that's how you say it. It's the Church of Erin, Longfork Church, and there's a Cobb religion, but like they worship the trees and like Church of Ashen Cinders. Oh my god. There's a bunch of religions. I don't know them very in depth. All I know is that the Hands worship a god of harvest, which is very cool, and believe that when you die, you are sent to his realm and you get to eat a big feast forever. You never get too full, and it's great forever. And whatever you eat in the living world gets like transported onto that table. So like encourages you to eat healthy and eat like an abundance of things. And to eat the favorite foods of those that passed, which is really, really sweet. I only know about the Hands because, things happened to them, G5. Poor guys. Oh my god. Anyway. There's also dragons. Yes, plural. That was revealed Generation 5. Oh god, so you remember that, island that I said had dragon stuff on it? Yeah, there was a dragon nest on it with, like, 6 eggs. And of course, the eggs went fucking everywhere. Just, like, got spread across the entire continent so far of Mistveil. And then in Generation 4, the dragon showed up and was like, hey, where the fuck are my eggs? What the burnt down most of Longfork. Not most of them. They burnt down this capital of Longfork where 2 eggs were hidden, and just basically torched everywhere that there were eggs. Uh-oh. People tried to, like, reason with it and bargain with it. He wanted all of the weapons. And then people were like, what the fuck? No, we're not giving you all of our weapons, idiot. So there's a war. That's great. Also a Citadel. Okay, the rest of these I know very little about. Citadel, there was apparently, like, a ruin that's been called the Citadel, where when people go inside of it, they were ice giants in there. Got killed. Some people got killed. I think it was in Aaron and Corallian. No. Was it? I think it was Frostmark, actually, which is right next to it. Anyway, very cool. I doubt you'll be let in there. I sincerely doubt that, like, your character will be allowed in there. You could try to, like, get an apprentice to someone that is allowed in there, but, like, I doubt it. There's also Axon Ruins. Axon is very particular about who can go into it, probably because, I do know a little bit about this. So basically, my character's, like, mentor slash mom figure, Eloise Planchette, who, isn't related to Aramis Planchette by blood, did marry his son. It's just goddamn whole thing. I will, if you want to see the Inferno implosion, I will give you a link. Anyway. And, basically, actually, wait. I'm gonna be sharing this with Progeny people. And forget I said anything. Actually, I didn't say a fucking word. Don't worry about it. If I'm probably gonna have to cut that out. Anyway, I know nothing about the Axon Ruins. I'm not gonna lie to you. I know that they're there and that Axon does not let people into there. Like, at all. There's also a world war in Generation 5. I forget the exact, I don't know, really remember why, because I have a bad memory, but, like, basically, hold on, let me just go back up to my map over here, my beloved. Circle of Birch and Valyria. Literally every other nation against those two. And Calderon. You want to guess how it went? Poorly. Yeah. Oh, great. So, you know, if you want to be, orphaned by the war, I guess. There you go. Yippee. There's also crystals. I don't know fucking shit about that. I'm sorry. There's crystals growing out of the ground in, like, a place. Hold on. Oh my god. I gotta go. I don't have arrow keys, if you're wondering. There's also these crystals. We don't know what the fuck is going on with them yet. I'm pretty sure there's, like, another one growing somewhere in Vicentia. You didn't hear that from me. I'm not thinking I'm supposed to tell you that. Anyway, you're, like, allowed to tell people certain things, but, like, some things staff will tell you, Tay, don't share this, but, like, it's technically your decision how much you share, but, like, people like to not share things just to make it easier for people not to metagame. Sometimes you forget what your character knows and what you know. On to character creation! That took forever! I'm so sorry! It took character creation! So I'm gonna go over the nations and locations. That rhymed. World connections. I already did that. We already went over those, so we will go over those. Go over what family stuff is. Goals and rules. Yippee. Here are the big nations. Axon, researcher... Wait, actually, I have a... This is like a simplified version. Hold on. So, Aaron, officially the Empire of Aaron, is located in the southwestern half of the peninsula. Its claimed territory consists of all land in the southern region to the west of the Longfork Mountains, stretching from Corallian to the southernmost land beyond Aramis' Folly, which is what the volcano is called. The nation is an absolute monarchy, initially ruled by Matthias Venthyr in Generation 1, and currently ruled by Macbeth Venthyr. Originally founded as a Grand Duchy, its status as an empire was established after its victory in the Aaron Wave War, which is a war I mentioned in Generation 1, I'm pretty sure. Might have been 2. Again, bad memory, I'm so sorry. There's also Longfork, which is what my character was a part of until they moved to Starglass. Yeah, anyway, Longfork, initially the Noble Republic of Longfork, is a nation located within the Longfork Mountains, the central mountain range of the peninsula. Longfork is composed of 2 provinces, North Prong and South Prong, which is further divided into 4 districts. Spearhead, New Fork Central, now called New Fork. Yeah, New Fork, and Shadow's Reach. Sorry, Trident and Shadow's Reach. I used to live in Trident. It's a pretty small town, still. Shadow's Reach is, like, has a castle in it. That's very cool. The nation is a democratic republic, covered by a council of 4 elected officials who each represent a district and position within Longfork. At the head of this council sits a democratically elected speaker who is a leader that represents Longfork at large. Pretty cool. Ask about their laws. Smile. It's not a trap, don't worry about it. It's not like Longfork doesn't have any laws or something. Anyway, Valyria. Officially the sovereign nation of Valyria is a nation, Southeast Peninsula, composed of 3 cities, Xandros, Rainfall, and Autumnsgate. It's an oligarchic ruled by 2 houses, the Canes and Kodomos. A fun fact, a Kodomo killed Bataille Venthyr. That might be involved in why they were caught up in a war with Aaron. Anyway, during, I guess it wasn't a war. In Generation, it was more like in Siege. It was a siege in Generation 3. Anyway, during the 5th day of Generation 5, Paleria holds status of Aaron vassal state due to the Mistveil War, which we talked about. I guess they're involved in 2 wars with Aaron. Anyway, I don't know if he would call it a war. The first one. Okay, Axon, the Order of Axon, is a nation that was formed during Generation 4, located in the northwestern desert of the Mint Peninsula. The nation was founded by Zakara Kazaharan and Altair G.C. Seratia. I think that's how you say it. Axon is governed by the Council of Axon and functions as a cooperative technocracy focused on research, innovation, and knowledge. Very cool. Circle of Birch, commonly abbreviated to COB. Yeah, it's great. It is called Circle of Birch. That is what it's called, but it's very often short to COB. Asian, the South Peninsula, and the eastern edge. Majority of its territory is within the Circle of Birch, a large walled city that shares the nation's name. After its founding, it held a very loose governmental structure before a regular election was decided, declaring the Circle of Birch a peasant republic, which it stayed for 4 generations, until the 5th day of Generation 5, where it was made into a multinational protectorate under the Citadel Coalition after the Civil War. So basically, it is ruled by a council chosen by every other nation that was involved, which I think is all of them excluding Calderon and Paleria, and Koya, maybe? I don't know. I don't remember if Koya was involved. Anyway, and Starglass, this is not one of the big nations. This is literally just a big group of researchers. You could technically be in any nation but part of Starglass and, like, go visit their outpost in the north. Or live in the outpost in the north. Yeah. And then Aaron at the end of Generation 5 was like, hey, we view Starglass as a nation, by the way. Smiles. And Starglass is like, what the fuck? Okay, I guess. They took in refugees from the big war. That might be why. I don't know. Here is the big map. Ta-da. That's so crazy. Wow. This says Corallian, Vicentia, Fairvale. I love Fairvale. Fairvale's great. Trident is where I live. Shadow's Reach. This big-ass castle over here. Very cool. Here's the obelisk. Starglass is researching the obelisk, but, like, nothing has really happened with it other than being scratched by the dragon that one time. Here is the north. There are 3 extra nations that are not here because this is Generation 4. I don't know fucking shit about the other 3 nations. I am so sorry. I don't fucking know. I'm so sorry. You might want to ask closer to the event because there might be, like, pre-planning that, or, like, I don't really know. I only know something about one of them. That's literally it. I'm so sorry. And this is where I am, the big tree. This is where Starglass took over the big tree. It's called the Lorelei Outpost after someone that died to a lightning strike. Don't worry about it. This is, officially, the north is called Splitmore, and then the south is called Mistveil. Very, very cool. Up in Splitmore, we have Axon, Koya, Lorelei, Starglass, Venedera Privateers. They're pirates. Aaron, Longfork, Circle of Birch, Paleria, Calderon, and Split Bush. Everyone always fights about Split Bush. This is for you, Dirt, specifically. Dirt. There are literally 3 people in Split Bush. You can pause here to read this over. Again, I only know... Actually, I know this is where former Polarians fled after the war, and this was, like, created by someone that I know out of character, and he had a whole speech, but I do not remember it. I'm so sorry, Shine. I don't remember. I don't remember. Anyway, yay, we're done with that section. Families, yippee! Basically, your character can be a child of other players. However, you can always have a non-player character family. Make up your own family line or something. Be siblings with another person that you know out of character and just, like, run around with each other. For example, my character Nyx has an NPC family who raised it, but their biological mother, like, who died to the dragon, has a brother who is played by a player. So Nyx is, like, an uncle that, like, they got to meet and find out about in character. Very cool. There's also a giant-ass family tree. Dear God. Very cool. And then you can just, like, oh wow, it's a brilliant, wow, that's so cool. Wow. Yeah, there's a lot of, it's kind of crazy. Yeah. Cool. Very cool. Oh god. Anyway, so onto goals. In my opinion, goals are the most important part of the application process. And it makes it so that every character is very goal-oriented, which makes for pretty interesting roleplay, honestly. And I have created a guide to how I personally did my goals. And I got in, so ooh, shrugs. They want to be a veterinarian, which is going to be their main thing in Generation 5 because they didn't really they thought that the ghost thing would be one and done, I'll just say. They want to better understand the dragon. Like the dragon stuff, which didn't really end up happening, unfortunately. However, this can't really be a place with ghost stuff. So, they're still goal-oriented. They want to protect their family, and they want to keep their murder a secret. Don't worry about it. It's fine, probably. Anyway, so there are two axes, long-term versus short-term, and world-based versus personal. The ghost/dragon stuff is world-based, and they think it's gonna be short-term. It's more leaning towards long-term now with the ghost stuff. Well, this is gonna be like jobs and stuff. World-based long-term jobs. Like what they want to do to affect the world. Do they want to be part of a council in Longfork or something? I don't know. You figure it out. Long-term and personal is like personal things that you want to do your entire life. Like where your values and principles lay. Just because it says long-term doesn't have to be. It can end up not being a long-term. You can always change it. It's fine. After you get in, you can like move some things around, especially after the generation. You can move things around and be like, after in these 20 years, how does my character change? And then there's also personal and short term, which is like, in my opinion, secrets that will come out, or like things that you want to get done right fucking now. Like, do you want to go visit or find someone that you've had something missing? Do you want to like yeah. For long-term personal examples, that could be like figuring out something about yourself. Like maybe I don't know what I want to do with my life. Maybe I need to figure that out. Or maybe like I want to find out who my real parents are. Or something like that. Yeah. Now here's world plot. I duplicated this slide. I'm a fool. Anyway, I am now going to talk about ghost stuff. Wee woo warning. This will involve suicide, coercion, and self-harm. If I'm editing this, I will put a timestamp up for when it'll, but there's also going to be a cat on screen when I'm done with describing things. So, there you go. I didn't finish this slide. Fuck. Okay, so... uh... Okay, we're back. Let me just... Okay. So, ghosts... Basically, the main things about them. Like, I would not be playing Nyx right now if it were not for the ghost lore. I fucking love the ghost lore. It's so fun. And so it's what I'm gonna be doing. So if you want to be involved with my character, you kind of have to like be okay with the stuff that's involved ghosts. Sorry. It's just kind of how it went. Basically, it can only be seen by one or a few people, usually just one. There are more akin to hallucinations sometimes. Like you see things and then like they just like go away for a second, like what the fuck was that? And they crucially are not who they appear to be. Not at fucking all. Because a ghost's goal is to kill their victim. And if they can only appear to their victim, what is the way to do that? Convince them to kill themselves. There's a reason I put a trigger warning. So I'm gonna tell you what Nyx did during the generation, because I don't want to have a different spoiler thing. So basically, Nyx killed someone. I alluded to that earlier. and wanted to see them again to have them punish it. And they because of they knew, like, I don't think they knew about Aramis' flight, but they were told with the blood magic in the altar. But they knew that someone was sacrificed. And they were like, well, surely if you sacrifice a whole person, a volcano explodes, then a little bit of that does something with ghosts. Surely. And then they were told something about the big tree, and they were, or like, that was thought about with the big tree, and then, you know, they were like, okay, maybe I should try this. And then, Emilian Planchette, who is actually, that Nyx, like, looked up to, he was, like, alluding to being able to speak with spirits after he did something. And Nyx was like, oh, fuck. You can do it. You can summon ghosts. You can do what I've been thinking about for years. Now is as good a time as any, I guess. And then tried to summon a ghost. Originally the catalyst was going to be something else, but, you know. So they decide, fuck it, I'm just gonna fucking, I'm gonna try my best. So they go to the place that they died, make an altar, do a blood sacrifice by cutting their hands open because they're very dramatic, and it doesn't work. So Nyx wanted Foxglove, who was the person they killed, who they were best friends with beforehand. Nyx wanted Foxglove to appear to them and give them, like, their punishment for killing them, basically. Because they knew that people were tormented by ghosts and were told to die. They were like, it's a very elaborate suicide, basically. And, like, they fully expected to die. And then it didn't work. And they're like, fuck. Well, now, the consequences of my actions, fuck! Anyway. And, like, yeah. I have a whole goddamn document explaining why they did it and, like, their bad mental state that they were in. Yeah, anyway. So, and then lore happened on day 8 that I cannot tell you and I'm very sad about. DM me and I will tell you. Stuff happened on day 8 and Nyx, for the very first time, heard a ghost. And, like, that's how they ended Generation 5, basically. They had one more day, that's how they ended it. Basically. And, God, like, the thought of ghosts being, like, twisted visages of who they once were compels me so much. Like, they had a conversation with someone, like, how can we be sure it's not them? And Nyx was like, they're just not. Like, and Nyx was going to say something to the effect of, if they were like that in life, you shouldn't have been friends with them. Like, if they really were like that in life, like, I'm glad that you're away from them now. Or, like, you should be away from them. You should not be around them. Like, God. But they're not them. They can't be. Like, at least that's what everyone believes. You know. Scratch his head. That's when Nyx tells people that they believe. Yeah. So, a lot of the time when ghosts haunt you, they try to get you to walk into the fog, basically. To just die. You know, it's a dramatic progeny way to die. And it has brought to light the term fog yourself, which I quite like. Anyway, so, ghost lore. Cool. I quite like it. I still don't know everything, because, unfortunately, I didn't want to find stuff out of character before I tried to do stuff in character. So, I haven't asked anyone, but, like, if I catch someone on the build server, by the way, I love the build server, then I can ask more about it, and then I can relay that to you, if you really want to know ghost lore. If you become Nyx's apprentice, you will have to deal with ghosts. I'm so sorry. They are a veterinarian apprentice with me. You're gonna have to deal with ghost stuff. I'm so sorry. Okay, everyone. It's over. It's done. Thank God. Anyway, if you want to be an apprentice of Nyx, or like related to Nyx at all, you're probably gonna have to deal with ghosts and thus those triggering topics. If you ask, I will warn you if things get bad or if I might involve your character. Let me know. We'll have to see close to the generation. I will lay down everything that I'm gonna do beforehand. Yeah, look at this like kitty. Like I searched up cats on Tumblr. This is the first thing that came up. It's very cute. Okay, last thing with character creation is some rules. There is an entire document about the rules. I can send it to you. You can easily find it. But here are some like ground rules. You cannot make up nations and world lore for your character. You cannot be like, my character came from like a nation that like offended people from the forest or something like that. You can have like a family that lives in the forest, but like not a nation. Or you can't be like, I'm an orphan from a war that like happened between Longfork and Aaron. A war between Longfork and Aaron did not happen. Or like, I'm an orphan from a war of nations that don't exist. You can't do that either. You can't be from a nation that doesn't exist or was created in previous generations. And you can't just like make shit up. You can't be like, I want my character to be an orphan of war. How can I do that? And like ask other people, or like, I want my character to like be from a group or something that was in the forest and then ran away for whatever reason. Ask. There are groups that live in forests. There are groups that went to war with each other. If you want your character to have a background involving something, ask about it, and it might have actually happened in canon. Don't be afraid to ask. And don't be afraid to like change your character. Make a whole new character if it doesn't fit. And also, only humans are allowed, and it is low fantasy. Asterisk, there are dragons. I didn't finish the dragon spiel. Man, whatever. Technically, I guess not everyone knows, but in Generation 5, there were baby dragons. The dragon eggs did hatch. Who could have seen that coming? Anyway, so magic cannot be wielded by people. The only way magic could really happen is if you know very specific ways to do it, ghost stuff, or if you like find something that can do magic. Like for example, there's monuments across the different nations and stuff, and they have been previously activated. And like for example, the one in Fairvale just made like the plants grow around it. It's very cool. They had to do trial and error to figure out what would activate it. Yeah. So, but magic cannot be wielded like on sorcery, stuff like that. Do not count on that. Yeah. There's a wiki! We're almost to the end, I swear to God. There is a wiki. It's a great reference. It is very, very useful. It's community run, which means that a lot of stuff isn't finished, but here's an example of Nyx's page. Yippee! Yay! Yippee! Nyx! Wow! I don't like this skin. Oh yeah, I'll get new skin next try to look better. So, orphaned by the Dragon Crisis, and adopted into the Wishbone family, attended University of Birch, studying to become a veterinarian, I'm a resident of Starglass Observatory and Archive, interested in ghosts and the animals of Fiskvale and Splitmore. Very cool. Appearance, personality, history. And then if people have updated your wiki, then you can see their days. I have not finished mine yet because dear God, school is so tiring. I should have done it beforehand, bro. Relationships. I should add more here. Damn. And you can have, sometimes they'll have items here too. And then there's gonna be trivia. Yippee! Yippee! Cool. It's very cool. Oops. I thought I was gonna do this in front of a crowd. If you have any questions, DM me, or ask in the comments, or I will get back to you. Yippee! Also some Nyx doodles. Sorry about I probably should warn you about that. Anyway, here's some clips. I will have a bunch of links to clips in the description. I'm probably not going to include this one, but I do have all my VODs of the event up. And if you ask in Progeny, you can ask about, like, a lot of people record their POV. So you can ask in Progeny, hey, like, what are some perspectives that I can watch? And the people will point you to their own, other people's. I would not recommend mine because a lot of it got retconned because of out of character conflict, but yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff. I'm probably just gonna show one clip here because this one's quite short. there was an assassination this gen on Aventhyr. Again, yes, I know.
Never mind, I got something different.
This is the guy that did it.
Let you in on, well, it's not much of a secret anymore. I've been telling a few people.
Alright.
20 years ago, I picked up somewhat of a side hobby. I would, whenever the sun set, I would put on my cloak and a blue mask, and I would run around Erin, performing music to people.
Huh.
Anonymously. And most of my songs were completely meaningless, unoriginal, until after the dragon, it was the day of the drinking games, and one of the Strongfoots, I don't even remember who, asked if I had any more somber songs for the tragedy that had occurred. And I came up with one on the spot. It's still my favorite song to play to this day. I'll just...
Thank you. It's
You're welcome.
it's beautiful.
I'm glad you
Might
think
even
so.
have been Boris who asked it.
Might have been.
Like, come on, it's so good. I love, it's so good. But anyway, some other notes. If you are not comfortable using a microphone, that's completely fine. There have been multiple mute characters. Salty Redfish played a mute character, and a guy called Poochie played a quote-unquote mute character. It wasn't actually mute, but he was hiding his voice for a very specific reason. Hiding his identity, thumbs up. But anyway, he just communicated through signs and a book and quill, just like writing stuff, giving it to people, they say, respond back. He writes more, they respond back. It's slower, but yeah, it's still cool. It's still fun, it's still interesting. You can still have a good event, even without that. So yeah, that's Progeny. Again, if you have any questions, please ask me. And I will be providing the Discord link to, or the link to the Discord. I sincerely recommend, even if you don't plan on, aren't really sure, set on whether or not you want to join it. It's in 6 months. It's fucking in January and February. You have a lot of time to figure out a character. And if you want more help figuring out a character that will fit the world, ask me. I know a decent amount of lore, and I'm good at asking questions, and I know people ask questions too. But don't be afraid to ask questions on your own. People, like, my early messages were literally just, hey guys, I'm confused. What happened to Aaron Wave? I'm so and they'd be like, oh, don't worry, Ignis. We got you covered. We got you covered. Here is exactly what happened. And it's just like, yeah. Anyway, it's very fun. It's very fun. Lurking in the voice chats is also very fun. I lurked there for the first good bit, and then I got confident enough to actually chat in there. It's gotten me a lot more comfortable with my voice, which has surprised me. Yeah. Yippee. Smiles. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you so much for watching.